And then she kind of laughs and says, oh my god, that guy. And when I tell you that just
brought the anger out in me.
Isn't my baby, isn't my aunt. I let you know like
So this is the third time I'm recording this story. Like when I originally filmed it, I wanted to give a backstory as to how I think things led to the way that they did. But I think that is part of the reason why things happen the way that they happened. I'm constantly giving people passes when there are red flags, and I don't think I need to explain that. Okay, so let's get into the story. Okay, so growing up, I had a best friend. We were basically raised as sisters because our parents were friends before we were even born. I was born and she was literally born 3 weeks after me. So we grew up as sisters, very close. We never got into any arguments. Like we were pretty much very similar but different. Anyway, besides the point. Now with her, I will say there were occasions in high school where she would be a little shady. There would be some weird movements going on, snake in the grass type activity. I kind of brushed it to the side because they were little minor things. At the time, I was basically just thinking, maybe I'm being too sensitive. It's not that deep, I'll just let it go to the side. Near the end of high school, there was one thing that literally I was like, okay. So I had a boyfriend in grade 9. That was my first real relationship. Right now, I don't claim that as a relationship, but at the time, that was a serious relationship to me, okay? Younger me thought I was grown. It was a very toxic relationship. He wasn't a very great person, and we only lasted maybe like 2 or 3 months. After we broke up, like that was, like my heart was broken. I was so naive when I was younger. Like in my head, I thought that was love. Ended after maybe 2 months. I was heartbroken. The people closest to me knew, but I really didn't show it. So my sister knew, and we're gonna give the best friend a name. We're gonna call her Fenty. Gloss is right here. So we're gonna call her Fenty. The point is, this breakup took a toll on me, and she knew that. Keep that in mind, that's important. So we reached grade 9. It's been 3-4 years since that relationship. I was past that heartbreak. I was over my first boyfriend. And there was a time in grade 12 where she was saying that he was hitting her up, and she was real about it. Like she would show me the messages and I'd be like, oh okay, yeah, like that's weird. I didn't really think much of it because I mean I didn't really care much for him anymore, so we moved on. A few months later, she shows me again, like, oh, he hit me up again. She was telling me that he was hitting her up a lot. Every single time he would hit her up, she would let me know. I thought it was out of loyalty, so I was like, oh, okay, yeah, thanks for telling me. There really wasn't a huge conversation around it. I don't care, like, I don't care. And at this point, this was maybe 2 years now after high school. So like, the situation is over. And she's still telling me here and there, oh, he just messaged me today, he just messaged me today. This is over a span of months, but this has been going on since grade 12. Like, I don't care. So at one point I did tell her, just jokingly, I said, if you guys were to date, if you guys were to hook up, like, I literally wouldn't care. Like, we don't even need to entertain him. I did find it weird that he felt so comfortable messaging her. But then another part of me was just saying, okay, you're paranoid. Maybe he's just a weirdo. So she shows me a conversation on her phone. So she was just showing me like in passing, like, oh, look what he's saying now. So I take it and I look at it and I'm like, oh, like, okay. And then I scroll, like just instinctively, I don't know, I just scrolled up and I see that they were having a conversation before that she never showed me. And I kept that to myself. Now I know in the back of my head, Kay, you've been having conversations with him. This is why he feels so comfortable hitting you up all the time, because you're entertaining it. I didn't press the issue. I was over the situation. I thought it was shady of her to do, but we were so close. Like, she's a sister to me. I just didn't think it was worth an argument or worth bringing up. that was that. But just keep that backstory in mind. Now we're gonna get into the real story. About a year ago, so this was 2019 January, I had gotten a job at a club. Well, actually it was in 2018 December. And I had gotten a job at a club where I had met a guy. We're gonna call him Joe. Me and Joe's relationship, and I don't mean relationship as in boyfriend girlfriend, I mean like just a normal like human being interaction, connection, relationship. That's what I mean. So our relationship was kind of, it was flirty. It was nothing serious. He was talking a lot again. He would say like at work, like, oh, you look so good, like I would give you the world. When you're ready, I'm ready, you're beautiful, like you got a beautiful smile. Like, so in my mind, like this guy, oh, like wow, he really wants me. I was like, oh, I don't need no man, I'm on my hot girl-ish, I'm living my best life, I don't want to be tied down, and I was just trying to have some fun. That's it. So yeah, we had like flirty banter, whatever, nothing serious. Over time though, things started to get a little more serious in the aspect that we were hanging out, I guess, more and spending more time together. And then over time, started to catch feelings, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I just started to catch feelings. Things never escalated up to a relationship. It definitely, like our connection, our relationship was really, really toxic from the beginning-ish. Like it was, one person would want one thing and the other didn't, and we were never on the same page at the same time, but wouldn't really vocalize it. So it was just a lot of drama all the time. Some weeks would be good, other weeks we wouldn't be, and it'd be on and off like that, literally for months. And whenever I had like drama going on with him, she was the first person that I would go to every time, because again, she was like a sister to me. And she would tell me things like, oh, like you could do better, oh, he's trash, and this and that. And me, I'll see red flags, but I'll ignore it because I want it to work. That's my toxic trait. So one night I had a little like one night girls night at my place, and I ended up inviting him over, and he came over. I introduced him to my two friends. It was Fenty and then another friend of mine. We all kind of chilled on the couch. I noticed almost like instantly that when I was introducing them, I don't know, the vibe was just really weird. Something was just off, and then he started to act weird. Like I was a little drunk, a little tipsy at the time, so I was brushing it off. When I look back at it, it really was just like what was going on. But this is like nighttime. This is like 2 or maybe like 1 in the morning, so you can't buy alcohol at that time. So we use this, it's basically Uber but for alcohol. Call that number, ordered our wine. He was like, oh yeah, that's interesting, what's the number? And Fenty was the one who had the number. I never even heard of this. She was the one that introduced it to all of us. And she's like, oh, let me text it to you, what's your number? And they exchanged numbers, and she sent him the person's number. At the time, like me, I do know like I am a jealous person. So when they exchanged numbers in front of me, I was like, weird. I didn't say anything. I was thinking that I was overreacting. Like she's like a sister to me. I'm overreacting. There is no way she would ever do me dirty like that. There is just no way. So I brushed it to the side, kept it pushing. Maybe a few weeks later, me and Joe, you know, we have our normal arguments, always some drama. But this one was actually bigger than our normal drama. Like this one, there was just a huge blow up at a party or at a club. I found out some information that I didn't like, and I made a scene. Do I regret it? No, because he deserved it. But I made a scene, and that was it. We stopped talking at that point. That was it. We were done with each other through. This was maybe like in July. In August, this is kind of like back to the, this is also like kind of like a side part of the backstory. But then August came along, and me and Fenty had went to Toronto for Caravana. So yeah, she had received a Snapchat from my ex from grade 9. At this point, I just wanted to know, okay, what's going on? I just casually was like, oh, like you have him on Snapchat? And she said, oh yeah, but that happened a long time ago, like it's nothing. But the way that she said it was like kind of all the confirmation I needed. I already knew that they were having conversations that she wasn't showing me. I knew that there was something she wasn't telling me. This was one of the biggest signs for me that I should probably fall back a bit. No, I want to trust you, and we grew up together, and you're like sister. At this point, there's been too many shady moments. I just don't think I could keep you around. Y'all need to be protective of your energy and who you keep around you. And this is something that I'm learning, and this whole situation taught me that. So in the moment, I kind of was like, hey, after this trip, I might fall back a bit, which is what I did. She would invite me to parties or text me, and I would just be like, oh, I'm sick, I'm working. Was basically just avoiding her. It's really hard for me to cut off people if they don't directly do something huge, because then I always will just forgive them and let them back in. And I'll convince myself that I overreacted when really I didn't. Then in comes November. I had let her back into my life again, so we were basically on the terms that we were always on before. I just felt like maybe I was overreacting. A lot of the times I just think I get in my own head a lot. So I figured, hey, just let her back in, it's fine. So yeah, so I had a music video shoot planned for the end of November. Literally the day before, 2 days before, I get a call from Joe at like 3 in the morning talking about he's sorry and he feels bad for what happened that night, and if he can see me. And I say no, because it had been months since that situation even happened. After that situation happened, we never spoke ever again. It was done. And now you're back, like months later, apologizing to me at 3 a.m. That's not genuine to me. I said no, and that was it. Well, I thought that was it. Moving forward, this is the day of my music video shoot. It went really well. Here's a clip.
So good that I know all of the risks, you know all of the risks, and I hit you with that text, that should know better to run back to when.
But yeah, it went really well. I'll link it down below if you guys want to watch that. I was very, very nervous. I wanted it to go well so bad. So yeah, Fenty knew this, and she was by my side like all day. We were getting ready together. We picked out our outfits, did our makeup, ran some errands, and headed to where we were gonna film, which is at an Airbnb. You know, during the day, like, you know, we have our normal chats, and I bring up like, oh, Joe hit me up the other day, basically like apologizing for everything and like saying he wants to like retry, blah blah. And she's like, oh, what did you say? And I said, oh, I just ended it there, like that phase is over. She's like, oh, okay, yeah, good, that's good. I felt like I didn't want to drag on the conversation. It didn't seem like she wanted to talk about it, so that was it. Ended it there. At the shoot, that's where it goes down. So everyone arrives. It's kind of like a party scene. So we had like a few people there, not a lot, maybe like 7 to 8 people. And you know, we start the scene, and there is a part of the video where I needed, my phone was playing the music, so I couldn't use my phone. And there was a part in the video where I needed 2 people's phones, one phone to text my phone while I'm texting in the scene, and then a phone that I'm gonna use. So I take her phone, like we know each other's passwords, and I'm looking for the contact name of the other person's phone so I can use their phone for the scene, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going through her messages to look for that person's name. I just thought it would be faster. And then right there, I see Joe's number. And in that moment, I freeze. Time literally stopped. I said, no way. And I click on it and take in, I'm seeing, like the last conversation was October. So that was only a few weeks ago. I'll just put the messages up. Rather than me describe it, I'll just put it up for you guys. In the moment, reading those messages were really hard to do, and I was literally shaking. I didn't want to read it. I scrolled to the top, I screenshotted it, scrolled a little bit down, screenshotted, scrolled all the way down, screenshotted. So I don't have them in order. I don't have the screenshots in order. I just have them in whatever I scroll to, and I don't feel like reading them again. So when I put them up here on the screen, I'm not going to put them in order because that will require me to read again. So yeah, so I had seen those messages and I was so hurt that I was in physical pain. And one of my other best friends was there, and she sees me and she walks up to me. I'm just like, follow me to the bathroom. We go to the bathroom and I'm like, read this. This is between Joe and Fenty. And she reads the messages and she looks at me, she's like, oh my God, no way. And then at the same time, I want to say it hurt because I didn't expect it, but a part of me did expect it because there was a bunch of red flags in the past and she was starting to be shady and weird for a while. Like a part of me knew that she wasn't really genuine anymore, but I still didn't expect it. And in that moment, I just needed the video to go well. I didn't want any drama. I just wanted things to flow smoothly. So I sent myself the screenshots, do what I have to do with the phone, compose myself, and I get back to the video like nothing happened. Like, I'm pretty sure no one could tell I was upset, and we finished the video and that was that. At the end of the shoot, everyone, you know, was walking out and I pull Fenty to the side. I'm like, yo, like, we need to talk later. And she's like, oh, why? Like, what's up? And I was like, I couldn't even bring the words. I want to say I was mad, but I was just really hurt. I wasn't mad yet. I didn't even bring the words. I just shook my head. I said, she's like, okay, fine, we'll talk about it later. And she leaves. And now it's just me and the other friend. You know, we pack up, go to the car. She's like trying to console me. Again, like I wasn't even crying yet, and it's probably just because I'm around people and I just don't like to cry around people. But the second I dropped her off and came home, the floodgates were open and I just let it out. Like I was crying. I'm not somebody that really likes conflict, but I'm also somebody who can't go to sleep like being angry or feeling sad. If there's something like I have to say, I have to get it off my chest like as soon as possible. So, and I actually think she texted me because I guess she was wondering what I wanted to talk about, and she had said, oh, so what did we have to talk about? And then I called her. Like, I just get straight to the point. I said, so I don't mean to invade your privacy, but while I was going through your phone for that scene, I had saw that you were texting Joe. And then she kind of laughs and says, oh my God, that guy. And when I tell you that just
brought the anger out in me.
she wanted to act like I was stupid. I just told you I saw the messages. I saw you text him first. So don't act like he's just annoying and he's hitting you up when you were hitting him up first. That just made me mad. And she got quiet and she said, yeah. She was just caught, which is probably why she didn't have much to say. I don't think she ever expected to get caught. I think it was all fun. It was fun doing it behind my back. And I don't think she ever expected me to find out. So she had nothing to say. So I asked, I said, like, you know that that's messed up. And she says, yeah. And so I'm like, okay, well, if you have nothing to say, and if it's not obvious, like, we're not cool anymore, we're not friends, don't hit me up. I see like the kind of person that you are, and I don't want that around me. I don't need it around me, and that's it. And that was the end of the phone call. She texts me a few minutes later. I'll probably read those out loud. And she says, I never linked up with him, never will, never would, but you won't believe that though. And I say, what is there to believe? I've seen the text. That's all that matters. That's disrespect enough. I don't care if you actually linked. It's been going on for months. You had time to reflect and still continue. Because there was messages. I could tell that their messages cut off. Like there was something before that, but she wasn't saved on her phone. And that was all the way in August, I think. But it was early. Like they had been talking almost since me and his drama. So that's months. And I only found out now in November. You're just upset because you're caught. And that was the last conversation we ever had. I was infuriated in the moment. I was hurt and pain. This is kind of fresh. Like, these text messages that me and her had, all this was November 2019. Because it is hard to have like someone really close to you betray you in that way. Even if you've seen the red flags, once it's presented right in front of your face, it's different than whether you just think about it in the back of your head, and it hurts because now you're looking at everybody differently, and now it's just really hard to trust people. And she owed me more loyalty than he did, to be honest. She was supposed to be a sister to me. And it's not even about whether I was in love with the guy, or whether I liked the guy or not, whether I was over him. It was the fact that you went behind my back and were having these secretive conversations and smiling in my face and being cool with me and giving me advice about the guy. I feel like I don't need to explain why that's disrespectful. I'm working on healing, but I'm working on forgiveness. And forgiveness is hard. Even if I do wake up tomorrow and I forgive her, you can forgive people, but know it's best for you to not let them back in your life again. If you know that it's better for you to separate from certain people, then do it. Just when the red flag presents itself, the first red flag, you gotta be out of there. You gotta say, I'm gonna head out, better pack your bags, and you better go. There are just some people that aren't supposed to be in your life forever. And when that time ends, you need to let them go. The worst part is feeling like I lost a whole other family, because I was, like, apart from her siblings were like my siblings too, and her mom was like another mom to me. I just feel like the connection or the relationship I've had with them is severed, and it will never be the way it was, and that sucks because they were like family to me. But the situation has caused me to value the friendships that I do have with people that I do trust. I'm so grateful for the friends that I've had and that I've met that I know, like, deep down that would never do me dirty like that. There's never been a single red flag. Red flags aren't normal. If they are consistent and they keep coming up, then it's probably just a sign that you need to let this person go. These friends is just smooth sailing, like I trust them. And this situation has really made me value that type of friendship, because now I know what it's like to really have real people around me. Yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna end this off. It might not be as dramatic as other people's stories. I do want you to know that if you've gone through something similar, like the feeling of betrayal by anyone is a type of trauma. So if you are going through something like that, just know, like, you are not alone. You have people around you that love you, and you are worth real love, and you are worth real, genuine people. And just be happy that you don't have that negative energy and you don't have those negative people around you anymore. So I think that's where I'm gonna end off this video. My other videos, I swear, are gonna be more upbeat, more lighthearted, all jokes and fun, so be on the lookout for those, and I'll see you guys in my next